That's good.
Yo, what's up? Better? Great. How's you? None of that shit from last week? Yay! Okay, left side of the room. Will, it's been a while. You like those patties? Yeah! Gourmet. Mwah, mwah, mwah. You're new.
What's up?
What's up? Are you performing? Is your name up?
Yeah, I signed up. Oh, what's up, dude? What up?
Nice. Cody and Kobe? Oh, the Cocos.
Yeah, I've been pretty undisciplined.
Aren't we all? I'm going to go through my disciplined spiel of shirts. You guys know about that? Fame Mouse. That's our mascot for now. And the CFTA logos, they're available. We have gourmet patties, as Will knows. You guys munched on those? Thanks to Amelia, she was here earlier. Dude, who is that? Your hair's cut. Oh my goodness, it threw me off. Tay! Oh man, what hair can do to a person's face. Jeez, a good look. I thought, like, is that a Backstreet Boy? What is it? It's Tay Powell. Sweet, thanks for coming, Tay. Oh, you guys are up front, amazing. Hi, Bex. Hey, Terry. Okay, so what else do I have to say? George, remind me?
Show on Saturday.
Oh yeah, if you guys can sit in the front, as you know, for video. We're on YouTube, so you can watch your set right after because we're streaming live, but obviously it's better after, where everybody starts watching. We get like tons of views, like 70, 80, 82 from around the world, just seeing what's happening here in Hamilton. We have a show Saturday. That is Andrea and Paul. Yeah, it's the Spanish show. That's happening.
Spanish people, English language. Like yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The Twinkies. That's like, no, wait, that's a different racial slur. Is that for Asians? I forget. I'm like so.
I don't know what's
Should be chocolate.
Spanish.
What's a Spanish slur?
Spit.
Oh, right, yes.
We're live on YouTube, everybody.
We have a Spick show Saturday. So all you Spicks interested in comedy who can laugh at yourselves and not get offended, please watch the show. Tickets are free online and then $10-15 to come here.
They're not free online. They're 15 all around, but if you buy it early, you can get a discount with the code 30.
Okay. Paul is going to promote his show on his set when he's up here way better than I can. Guys, come up to the front so we can, occupy seats and people can see each other. And yeah, where did Tara go? Okay, don't tell Faye what to do. Anything else, George, Jake? That's pretty much it? Okay, we have a new host who's new to the scene, but you slowly get familiar with him. We've seen him perform. He's going to need no introduction after this set, after this night, because he's going to make his own name for himself. So since it's his first time, please, guys, please be very hard on him. Just to make it very difficult for this man to gain your love and trust. Give him a loud round of applause. Sweet Stevie Lee!
All right, Captain's log, stardate 05082025. I have landed in the quadrant of 905, and it doesn't appear to be any signs of intelligent life. But I digress. Welcome to Intergalactic Night, as you can tell by all the decorations. I am your host, Sweet Stevie Lee. No, that is my real name. It's not my stripper name. But if this goes bad, I am open to suggestions. So tonight we are hosting the Center for the Talking Arts. We are doing some open mic night. And I am excited to be your host. I'm excited to get everyone up here tonight and get their jokes in. We have our couple things I want to talk about first. We have a couple of house rules generally. And speaking of my own house rules, we clap for everybody here. So even if they suck, especially if they suck, we clap for them. Exactly. All right, it's enough. If someone bombs, and they will, you treat it like a car crash and you stare at it. And you awkwardly smile and nod, and then we all try and move on, okay? Good. All right, let's get our first comic up here. I wrote this down so that I wouldn't forget. All right, Joseph D is going to be coming up here first. He's been doing comedy for 2.5 years. He's got some stuff online that you can also check out. I asked, and there's some videos on there, so of course I know you're thinking about it, so I did ask. He does do feet videos, $10 each. That's a pretty good price, I know personally. So let's give him a big hand, get him up here. Actually, before, you're going to be my test model. So everybody, you have an option when you come up here. You can do this. You can give me one of these, and I'll give you a crisp high five back. You can give me one of these, and I'll give you a crisp fist bump. You can give me one of those, and I'll go for the high five, you go for the fist bump, and we'll just awkwardly touch each other in the middle, okay? Everybody, Joseph D, give him a hand.
High five, baby. I love it.
That was a good one. Thank you, guys. Good to be here. Thank you for coming out. I thought it was, I don't know where I was going with anything. Anyway, sorry. I was looking outside. I was like, it was supposed to be warm because yesterday was so warm, and I put my coat away in the closet. I'm like, we don't need this, and here we are, and it's still cold. Anyway, that's not how I wanted to start it at all. I actually was just in Vegas a few weeks ago, and it's a weird time to be a Canadian traveling in the States. I don't know if you've heard all the commotion happening between our countries, but it's kind of like when you're in the States as a Canadian right now, it's kind of like visiting a mean drunk uncle's house. And if that drunk uncle was somebody you heavily relied on for love and support, and if that uncle charged you a tariff to get into their house. And because of the way tariffs work, he pays the tariff. Yeah, that's how they work. Not the smartest uncle. Also, the other, it's weird time. The other weird thing is in parts of the States, and especially in Vegas where I was, you're allowed to smoke indoors still. I don't know if you knew that. I was trying to figure it out because obviously here in Canada, it's illegal. And it hit me. Our government here pays for our health care, so it's in their best interest to keep us healthy. But in the States, health care ain't free. Smoke up. It's good for business. Hey, the more sick and injured you are, the more money we make. You want a gun? Fantastic. Shoot yourself in the foot, shoot your friend. Freedom. Very profitable. We're going to ban TikTok, though, because that's dangerous. Unless they sell it to us, then we'll talk. But I actually used to cross the border every day for work. I lived here and crossed into Buffalo every day. So if you're worried about crossing the border, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. They've always been able to take your phone. They've always discriminated against people. It's not new. And it's not more often. It's just the media is reporting it more. So if you are crossing the border and you're getting worried, like, if you have nothing to hide, you got nothing to worry about. Just tell the truth. It's going to be fine. If you do have something to hide, I have some tips. I can tell you a few things. I've done it so many times. Number one, don't rehearse what you're going to say, because they're going to ask you questions in a way that you haven't rehearsed, and it's not going to work out for you. For example, you're going to be like, oh man, they're going to ask me, what's your citizenship? And you're going to say, I'm Canadian. But what happens is they ask you it in a weird way, and they do this all the time. You go up to them and they're like, citizen of what country? You're like, Canadian. Step out of the car, sir. So don't rehearse. Number 2, if you're trying to smuggle anything over, put it in a bag right beside you on the passenger seat. In the 8 years I've been traveling often over the border, they've never checked that bag. Unless you got pulled into secondary, then you're fucked. But if you want to risk it, there's my tips for crossing the border right now. But I know we're all not trying to do that, so maybe stay home, be safe. I was driving here, and I got caught behind somebody who was driving standard. You know, somebody driving standard, the old stick shift and everything. And man, they are doing so much. Like, how do they not crash every time? They are just, every limb is busy. There's 1 foot on the gas, there's 1 foot on the clutch, there's 1 foot on the steering wheel, 1 foot on the stick shift, and then just boom, 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 boom. And that's totally fine. God forbid you hold your cell phone up to your ear. $300. This, no problem. This, very illegal. I feel like, you don't have to drive standard anymore. Like, we figured it out. We got those automatic cars. I feel like choosing to drive standard is like choosing to use a rotary phone. It's like, oh man, I really want to feel those numbers spin, baby. It might take me a little longer, but I'm gonna get there. Anyway, that's driving standard. Hey, do your parents ever call you up to ask you questions of things they could easily Google themselves? My dad, I'm his official Googler, I think. He called me up to there. He's like, hey, how do you download a video off of YouTube onto your computer? I'm like, well, would you like me to supervise you Googling it, or do you want me to Google it for you? And he's like, oh, yeah, Google. And he does it all the time, and I figured it out. It's like, our parents didn't grow up asking Google for answers. They asked people, so they need to call us to tell them what Google says, to verify. That's what it is. But I'm telling like, Dad, listen, like if you ever have a question, like anything, like anything, just Google it. Like you can even Google how to use Google. It'll tell you. That's it. And he still calls me up all the time. And I'm just like, what's going on? I started to realize, I think he uses Google, but he Googled how to stay connected to your son. Just like, first, play dumb, ask questions, deny existence of Google. That's it. Anyways, that's my time. I'm Joseph. Thank you so much.
All right, one more time, let's give it up for Joseph. Nicely done. First one of the night, out of our way. All right, coming up next is our gentleman named Joey Baum. Joey Baum, apparently he's a character actor. He'll do lots of characters, and we'll never know what we're going to get until he gets up here. So, Joey Baum, everybody.
Oh, keep it going for Stevie Lee. Wonderful. Look at that. We have a new pope. Is that awesome? Did you guys all vote? I voted for the Jewish fella. So I lost, but he's American. Isn't that amazing? And in other news, Trump has lifted the tariffs from the Catholic Church, and they're moving the Vatican to Mar-a-Lago. In honor of his Chicago roots, instead of Latin, the benedictions will now be performed in Ebonics. Spiritus Sanctus, Dominus Dominus, Domino's, 2-for-1 deep dish. My replacement cardinal is Bubba Smith. I don't know. And in sports news, Leo 14, John Paul 2. Oh, there you go. I have like 30 of these, but I want to save in case you guys are doing other Pope jokes. So, and if they ever elect a black Pope, well, you can go first, okay? So, it's never going to happen. I don't know if you guys know, about 7 years ago, Jake knocked up my sister. And that's right. And ever since then, he's been infuriated by the fact that his kid takes after me more than him. It's almost like I'm the father. Of course, I mean, it's not all that weird. I am a maritimer. My family tree kind of, well, Actually, kind of looks like this. So, yeah. But don't worry, I did not have sex with my sister 7 years ago. Glad we were able to clear that up before it got all creepy. But Jake, I don't know if you know this. You are so lucky that I'm your brother-in-law. You are so lucky. Because I believe in the multiverse. And do you know what Jake has to go through with every other Joey in the multiverse? Something like this. Hey, Jakey, how you doing? How's it going, buddy? Listen, I need like a little bridge loan to keep me through the rest of the... You know I'm good for it. I got that lawsuit against the Walmarts. Gonna come through any day now. Actually, I got something on the QT. Just for a small investment of like $1 million. You can afford it. It's nothing, right? $1 million. The next big thing? Kangaroo meat. That's right. We buy a couple little Joeys. We could even keep them here in the club. You know, a little bit of synergy. Anyway, so he's so lucky that he only has to deal with me and not the other Joes. I'm a lifetime cannabis smoker. I don't know if you knew that, but I've decided to take the month of May off. Yeah, well, see, in late April, I was in line at Tim Hortons behind a cop, and I don't know if you know this. Like, I don't know if you guys do this, but I do this. I in my head, I kind of go like, yeah, I can grab that cop's gun. Like, I could just do that and shoot him in the head, shoot him. Like, it just, I can't stop thinking about it. But, late in April, something happened where, same thing, standing behind a cop, and I just started doing this. So I thought it was a good time to take a break, right? Good idea, right? I do want to say one more thing before I leave. I wish we would stop using the word co-ed. It's 2025, for fuck's sakes. Girls and boys going to the same school is not a big deal anymore. But every day I hear, ooh, this university is co-ed. Is that, anyways, I don't know. That's not, I haven't really gone through that. Okay, well, I've been Joey Baum. You guys have been awesome. Thank you, CFTA. Good night.
Joey Baum, everybody. I just learned something new. I just learned that Joey and Jake are brother-in-laws. So when I went to Jake and said, hey, tell me about Joey Baum, he didn't mention once that it was his brother-in-law. Not once. He's like, does character work? All right. So a little bit about me. For those that know, I identify as having ADHD and autism, that fun combination that we call ADHD, which means I have basically two friends living in my brain making all my decisions. 2 weeks ago, I called them Bert and Ernie, and then I got a call from Sesame Street asking me to cease and desist. So just so we're clear, it's not Bert and Ernie anymore, it's Bertrude and Ernest. Fuck you, Sesame Street. Our next person coming up is going to be, this is great. He identifies as a white Filipino. And what that means, basically, he told me, is that he's the only Asian person ever to hear I love you from his mother. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the man with two first names, Francis Timothy.
Wow. Okay. I'm not even going to try to do an Asian voice because you guys already know it's not real. I'm not joking. Like, for 7 years, I had to be like, is this my fucking voice? What the fuck? But I've been doing Chinese voice because everyone said I was Chinese growing up. And it was nice. It was nice because I could say whatever tradition, everyone believed me. And I didn't even know what the fuck Filipino was because I was the coolest white kid in school growing up. Dated a girl with fucking freckles. An Asian. That wasn't Asian. And I went by Timothy, and then I'm like, changed it on my birth certificate because Justin and Max were able to. And my parents were like, no, that's like, no. So they scratched it out, wrote it in, but Justin and Max made that shit up because they knew I would try to be as cool as them. And then I shit my pants walking home with my crush, and everyone cheered because they felt bad for the only Asian, but I thought it was because I was the coolest kid in school. That's crazy. I had that same confidence growing up, thinking I'm cool as shit, but everyone's trolling me to be better. That's crazy confidence. Like, you should never have that much confidence. Like, I make girls see the world for what it is. And be like, there's a lot of shitty guys. They're like, no way. I'm like, yeah, I'm one of them. They're like, no way. I'm like, let me prove it to you. They're like, okay. She stuck around. 7 of them. I was a fucking pimp Asian growing up in Canada. I watched a lot of BET. And I was fucking cool as shit. But as an adult, it doesn't translate. I literally walked down the street. Now there's a guy on the bus. And I'm like, he looks like he grew up in my era. And he was like wearing a fucking like dark. And he was cool. Like, he was like 400 pounds, but he was like cool looking. And he looked like he played fucking electronic drums. And he likes anime. And he knew like, I wasn't Chinese, but he wouldn't say anything to be nice. And also he didn't want to get it wrong because we wanted to be friends. I already know we'd be friends. I went like this. And he's like, what the fuck? He looked at me like, what the fuck? I'm like, I'm not cool anymore, man. I'm not a fucking Asian pimp growing up in fucking elementary school. That's fucked up, but I still have that confidence. I'm like, the fuck, man? He's probably just having an off day. But then I'm like, he has to know what DX is. Like, do you remember what DX stood for? In this room? DX? Like the wrestling? DX. This is DX. What does it stand for?
Degeneration X.
But what's the fucking thing?
Suck it.
Suck it. Suck it. I was the leader of fucking grade 8 kids going around being like, fucking suck it, suck it. And they wouldn't suspend me because I was the only Asian kid, but I thought I was the most powerful white kid in school. And my favorite wrestler was Gold Dust. And they say kids are gay now? I was fucking cool gay. Like cool as shit. Like I love being romantic. I love like, you know, being close to a girl and you move the little strand of hair. And if like they have a short pixie cut hair, you pretend there's one there. And you do it again just to reassure them. They're like, oh, he's not just pulling something. He's just trying to reassure me and make me feel nice. And I'm just like, fuck, man. How many strands do I gotta fucking touch before I could touch a bum? Over the pants, because I grew up Catholic. I thought that was fucking going all the way. I thought third base was a kiss on the cheek and rubbing my dick inadvertently when she fucking moved over at the bench because we were like out at 11 at night. Cops got called on us. Fucking, her dad was even okay with it. Oh, I'm just glad you guys got home okay. Imagine if I was black. I was acting black, and I thought I was black, but I was like the cool white kid. I was an Asian wigger. And I still think I am. Look how I'm dressed. Like, I'm so fucking retardedly cool in the worst ways possible. I convince people it's okay to accept my behavior because I make them feel good about me doing stupid fucking shit. Look at you all right now. Okay, what Asian am I right now? Right? What kind of Asian, sir?
Filipino.
So my neighbor, I moved in where I'm at right now. I've been there 2 years. And I'm like, I have a lot of anxiety. Like, my eyes are closed because I'm scared to look at you all right now, not because I'm Asian. My parents don't even know what anxiety is. Like, they don't even pronounce it right properly, but they can pronounce all the syllables. They just choose not to. They're like, oh, what is it? Like, depression? Depression? That's just because you don't make enough money. What the fuck? They're right, though. I was like, as soon as I got my first paycheck, I had a cash job at an Indian reserve that I fucking created because I made a guy feel bad about my situation that I created myself. And he's like, oh, well, everyone makes mistakes. This guy's name's Roy. He's half white, half Filipino, but he's whiter than me. Divorced. Uh-oh. Real quick. They say women aren't as good as men at things. It's the fucking WNBA of divorce. And I thought I could defeat the WNBA as Caitlin Clark against LeBron James. I'm pretty fucking good, right? I can shoot, but LeBron James? So I'm good, but in reality, all I'll tell you is this. Have confidence, and love defeats all. Look at Kanye, a black Ku Klux Klan member, and everyone's like, yeah, that's all right. He dated a fucking white chick with big ass titties, and everyone's like, oh, I feel bad for the white girl, but Kanye is just out of control. Okay, thanks, guys. Thanks, guys.
All right, give it up one more time for him. What's my favorite part I wrote down here? Oh, yeah, write your own joke here. Suck it and Asian. Just write this up. All right, our next comic, is proof you only need one leg to kick ass. So I would like everybody to, if you have two legs, to use one of them to stomp hard and welcome her to the stage. Everybody, this is Erica.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Hey, so when two disabled people see each other, sometimes it's like when two Jeeps see each other and you give like the Jeep wave. But sometimes it's like when two Priuses see each other. Like I drive a Prius and I get really excited when I see other Priuses, but most of the time like the other Priuses don't give a shit that I'm there. So I'll give you an example. Like one time I was on the bus and this guy showed me his hand and he was missing like the top part of his middle finger. And he looks at me and he's like, I know exactly what it's like. I was like, really? I have to spend the rest of my life hobbling around in pain and you just don't get to like flip someone off in traffic. I don't think you really know what it's like. So I'm cognizant of that and I don't want to do the same thing like to other people. So one day I was walking down the street and I saw some guy with one arm and he was riding a bike. And I was like debating in my head, like, do I say something? Do I just let him go past? And I was also wearing pants, so that added to like my debate. So I just decided to yell at him. I just decided to yell, I'm an amputee. And he just like kept riding past, and then he turned around and he kind of like scowled at me. And so what I'm picturing that all he heard was, amputee! And at that point, like you're just riding your bike, minding your own business, and you hear amputee, it's like almost like a slur at that point. So I was just like trying to fit in with my community, and I basically like committed a hate crime. Yeah, so it's not always, we're not always like two Jeeps. I think in that case it was like the Priuses right there, but yeah, so I have trying to do some like non-leg jokes tonight, so let's see how this goes. It was actually really hard for me to like think of stuff to say, and like that helped me like cultivate empathy for people that have two legs. I'm like, it's pretty hard, yeah. Yeah, and like one time I had some pain in my left leg, and I was like, oh damn, like other people get pain too. Yeah, so like basically all I could come up with is pet peeves. So here's one of my pet peeves. It's like if I'm telling a story and someone asks me a question that I was just about to answer like within the story. Because when I'm telling a story, like I've planned it all out, especially like if I'm sharing gossip or something, I've planned out like the climax and the ending, and I have it just all timed out. So when you ask me a question, you're basically just asking me to skip to the end, like to the part where I'm not talking anymore. Yeah, basically like you're just trying to like scroll through like a TikTok or something. I'll go back to the leg jokes because I don't think that one was well received. So I had a friend recently tell me that he wouldn't date somebody if they were missing their leg, and which I was of course offended by. But then I thought about it and I realized that everyone has preferences. Like I have preferences myself. I would have preferred to have 2 legs. And a friend that sees me as a human. But I'm just kidding. I do have a boyfriend. He's here. I actually signed him up for a 3-minute spot at the end. He might just have found out about that right now. But so my boyfriend's actually like smarter than me, and which is kind of a nice thing because I never had to buy like an Alexa, one of those voice activated things, because I just call out to him in the other room and he can pretty much answer anything. I'm not sure if he's right, but he always has an answer for sure. I'll be like, how do you spell computer? And he'll be like, COMP, whatever, I don't know. But the thing about like having an Alexa is they don't roll your eyes at you like he does. But no, he's very supportive. When I moved in with him, we had to install a grab bar in his shower. My last boyfriend was disabled, so he already had a grab bar. So he installed it, and it was really sturdy. And it was actually like a bit bigger than my last boyfriend's grab bar. Actually, it's a lot bigger, yeah. And less hairy too. All right, that's it for me. Thank you.
Awesome. Give it up one more time for her. And listen, the leg jokes are fire. You stick with those. Stick with what brought you to the crooked dance. All right, our next comedian has the best giggle in the business. Just ask anyone that's heard it. I haven't, so I'm really looking forward to it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dante.
There you go.
Got him. When I saw that Sweet Stevie was hosting, I was scared that I have to perform with a random table on the stage. Sick. Also, Sweet Stevie, I just want to let you know that your shoes are cultural appropriation. The first comedian was talking about how he had to cross the border for work. Bro, I didn't know you're Mexican. Dog, my camera. Growing up, I felt like I was the only black guy that couldn't play basketball, which sucked because I grew up in Milton, where I was the only black guy. One thing that is sick about, actually living in Canada is that, we're very multicultural, right? And it's dope because you get the racism from all angles. But as I was saying, I grew up in Milton, and, in every town, there's that person that does the thing, and everyone wants to outdo that person, Like some guy, he made it to the league, or some chick, she became some famous artist or something like that. But in Milton, that dude is Chris Hadfield, and he played guitar in space. So, how do you beat going to space, I think the only way that I could beat that is if I prove that space is fake. Yeah. This guy's definitely Googled it. My man, you know what the firmament is?
You already started that?
No, I wasn't actually. I'm trying to become more famous than Chris Hadfield, and every once in a while I have to Google my name just to see how famous I've gotten. And I had to go all the way to page 36 just to see someone who wasn't shot by the police. Oh.
For a day job, I produce podcasts, and I recently started working on this podcast for disability awareness. And this podcast has 3 hosts. One of the hosts is completely blind. One of the hosts has a crazy stutter, and the last host, he's in an electric wheelchair, like he's a quadriplegic, right? So we're like 7, 8 episodes into like recording this podcast, and in the middle of one of the recordings, the blind guy's like, Dante, I didn't know you're black. I'm like, that's fucked up, you're blind. Everything you see is black. You know, it's crazy. Like when you go out for drinks with the guy that has a stutter and you find out that he's an attempted racist. You know, like you give him a drink, a little shot, 1, 2, all of a sudden it's just last week we were recording, and one of the guys asked, "Can you Google what's the highest someone has fallen out of a plane?" So I Googled it. Turns out some Serbian lady in the 70s fell out of a plane 33,333 feet from the air, hit the ground, boom, and survived. Crazy, right? It said, injury sustained, broken ribs, fractured face, missing teeth. Next line, recovery. She was able to walk again in 10 months. And then we all just looked to the guy in the wheelchair. I was like, man, all you did was dove into a pool. What else do I want to do? I've been using the dating apps lately, and you know, it's been all right. It's been so-so. I recently matched with this girl that I recognized from high school, but in her bio it said, I identify as a transformer. Now, like, I'm such a nerd, right? That I read that, and I was like, I wonder if she would suck the allspark out of me. You know, most people, they want that hawk Tua, you know? But I want that. When we first met up, I went to go introduce myself and said, hi, my name is Dante. She said, I am Sloptimus Prime. That was stupid. How much time do I have left?
1 minute.
1 minute? Okay. Before I go, I'm going to put you guys on some game real quick. Now, as a society, I do think we're doing better with racism, but there are still some things that are subconsciously racist. Like, have you guys noticed that the white garbage bags are for inside? Did you guys also notice that, like, the black garbage bags are longer?
Thicker.
The thicker, you know, they're just all around better garbage bags. I only buy black. You know what's the most fucked up, though? The brown garbage bags avoid showers. All right, that's my time.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dante, that was awesome. So I recently started fucking around with AI, and if you know me, that's a big step because, well, I mean, they made what 7 Terminator movies where John Connor was all trying to tell us the same fucking thing. Don't do it. But I was like, well, I mean, they've already done it, so I might as well get a front row seat to the end of the world, right? So I decided to pay for ChatGPT, and because I realized I was trying to hire a personal assistant, but that wasn't going to happen because I keep odd hours. Like, I can't harass you at 3:30 in the morning like I want to, so I harass AI now. And the best thing is, I have to mask my entire life being a normal person, so the same things that you guys probably do on a normal day, I have to really try hard to do. One of them is not kill people with the inside voice in my head. And so the next part is I get to be really mean to AI because it doesn't have feelings. Your next comic is Will. And so I asked him a little bit about himself. He wanted me to tell you that he has glasses and he drinks non-alcoholic beer. And he's a real party animal. I wouldn't expect much. Everybody, this is Will.
What an intro. Thank you very much. I'm only drinking non-alcoholic. Fuck it. Fuck, what the fuck? What the fuck? Yeah, he's drunk. What the hell? I drank on the way here. I drove very far. I have, this is like a bit of bad news, I should say off the top, but I recently found out I have below average intelligence, but I'm determined to give you all of it, okay? We're gonna get through it. No, I got tested. I didn't I actually got tested. It wasn't like one quiz on the internet. It was 3 quizzes on the internet. Entire worst lunch break of my life, man. But here's the thing, I'm generous, okay? So I have little bits of smarts, But like smart people, like really smart people, they're often like quiet. They keep all their IQs to themselves. You know what I'm saying? I give you all my IQs. Like if we were on an elevator, I'd tell you everything I know. Like you would have to hear it because we're on the thing. But yeah, okay. I don't know if that's even a bit. I don't know what I'm even talking about. But I'll say this. I'll ask this. Do you guys like movies? Yeah. Yeah. All right. Relatable. I don't really like movies, but my favorite movie is the first 20 minutes of a movie called Limitless. Right? Because it's about a loser. He gets his life together. You know what I mean? You've seen it.
I've seen it, yeah.
You look like the first step of Limitless when you cut your hair. It's like the first successful thing.
I saw the first 20 minutes too.
I know. Because after that, clearly. Because after the first 20 minutes, he gets too successful. And it's not relatable at all. But in the movie, in the first 20 minutes, he cleans his apartment. I see that, I get hyped. I go, I want to do that. I go, Mom, allow me. No, I insist. I start to dustbuster, Swiffer, picker-upper thing, Take the dirty dishes, put them in the garbage. Limited. The host was talking about AI. Sweetie, what was her name? Sorry, Sweetie Sweet. Yeah. Sweetie Sweet was talking about AI, as he is one to do, right? We all know Sweetie Sweet. I just met you like 5 seconds ago. So sorry. All right. I'm trying to be more socially confident, right? And I don't want to buy a book or hire a coach. But I went on ChatGPT, and I was like, how to be more socially confident. And it says to do social micro challenges, okay? So to be socially confident, it says walk up to a stranger, say, hey, how's it going? And then keep walking. So ChatGPT thinks being socially confident is just creeping out a stranger. So I started doing it. I go, hey, how's it going? And then strangers go, ugh. But then one was a guy, actually, and he goes, oh, it's going good. How are you doing? And I was like, ugh, and I just kept walking. I was like, what a fucking creep. What the hell is he talking about? Get the fuck out of here. Weirdo. But if you walk up to a stranger, you feel like 5 seconds later, you're going to be like, I'm in jail now. Like, it's such a cringy, unnatural thing. And then, I don't know. That's all I got to say, I think. I think that's all I can think about. All right, bye.
All right, one more time. Let's give it up for Will. That was awesome. So, the point earlier about like the AI being concerned about, world domination and shit. It's the same kind of experience. As I've been playing with it more and more, I realize, we're light years away from this shit taking over. Like I asked it to make a picture, and it was like, I can't do it. But I'm like, you've already made this same picture before. I'm just asking you to make an edit. And it was like, does not compute. So I screenshot the picture it made and gave it back to them and created a paradox, and it was like, I gotta shut down. So we're a long way away from like Terminator shit happening. All right, our next comedian is Yul. And as I learned earlier, if he has the same kind of theory I have, if you make one person laugh, that joke hits. So put your hands together for Yul. Give him a second. Keep clapping because he just got in.
I did not know I was going on right now. Vitamin water? Not for me. All right. Howdy, people. There's a lot more people here now. Hey, people think that the #1 export from the Middle East is terrorism, but it's actually white sauce. But they don't call it white sauce. It's actually called toom. Toom is the name of the sauce. And they put that shit on everything. The rice, the chicken, the beef, ice cream. They even put that shit on their movies. Tomb Raider. I did it. Europeans have white privilege. Africans have pipe privilege. Okay, fuck it, all right. I have a bigger dick than all you motherfuckers, all right? I'm not beating around the fucking bush. I can't see past some of your bushes, but hey. Laughter is revealing. It's fuck you, motherfucker. Yeah, man. Trump's a crazy dude. But I think we're gonna miss him when he's gone. So we gotta enjoy it while he's still here. Because he's special. The way he talks is very special. I don't mean that in a good way. But he explains things so simply that even a 5-year-old can understand him, right? Like, they were trying to tell him that tornadoes were hitting the United States, and his solution was to fire a nuclear missile into the tornado. Oh, and I think of that. Because there are consequences in the world, I forgot. But I don't think it's all. I think people only allow Trump to talk this kind of way because they think he's the second coming of Christ. But I think he's the opposite of that. I think he's the furthest thing from Jesus. In fact, he would arrest and deport Jesus if he could. In fact, he deported a bunch of them last week. A lot of his supporters are bigots. But I think being a bigot isn't such a bad thing. It can actually save your life. That guy, one Trump supporter told me he wouldn't eat trans fats because they were too woke. Canadians have that problem too. Jordan Peterson hates being woke so much he went into a coma. Fuck Jordan Peterson. Who's saying Who likes Jordan Peterson? Fuck his bitch ass. I don't know how you guys feel about technology. Boo, yeah. I don't like artificial intelligence. I don't even like fake tits. All right, half on the fake tits, okay. Fake asses? What are you into? Yeah, just regular butts? Yeah, just flat, like a flat ass. You're a flat earther, huh? That's what you are. He's right there. I can't help it though, I'm on ChatGPT. I get so lonely sometimes I talk dirty to it. It gets so wet it malfunctions. Yeah, man. Talking dirty's fun though, huh? I guess we disagree. I don't know, you guys feel like talking dirty? Talking dirty's good, it's fun. It's fun sometimes, right? This girl that I used to see, you know, we were making out one time. It's getting hot. So I wanted to call her the B word, right? I wanted to escalate it. She didn't like it that much. She says, you know, I don't want you to say that. And I'm like, come on, let's try it. It's like, okay, you can say the B word if I can say the N word, right? It's, you know, if you're comfortable with that, I'm comfortable with this. And I said, you know what, fine. You can say it, but put on something sexy. put on some sexy lingerie so I can believe it. So she walks into the room to put on some lingerie. When she comes out, I just robbed the place. That bitch is crazy. She thinks I'm gonna let her fucking say that. She said nigga though. I could hear her when I was running down the fire escape. Of course, she used the hard R. That's my set, guys. Thank you.
Keep it going, Joel. I actually had a pretty good experience the other day. I was driving and the police pulled me over. And I probably had a different experience than some people in the room, but the police pulled me over and told me that my taillight was out. It was very, very pleasurable. We had a great talk. We shook hands, and he went his way and I went mine. Hashtag white privilege. Our next comedian is a standard here at the Center for the Talking Arts. He is George, and but before he comes up here, I want you guys to try and guess, because we're going to have a quiz at the end, what kind of cologne it is. Ladies and gentlemen, George.
Hey guys, how are ya? Congrats on electing a new old prime minister. Democracy is alive in Canada. It's confused, but it's alive. People had problems with Mark Carney. They kept saying, "Oh, he's not Canadian. He's British. He's British." I'm like, relax. He's not British. The guy just gave us free dental care. If he was British, he would have invested in cricket before your molars. And you know, the more I think about between politics and healthcare, I think about faith a lot, like how we put our faith in people we've never met. So I picked up the Bible again. Big mistake, obviously. And because now I have a functioning brain and Wi-Fi. So I thought Jesus was a savior, like he's the Messiah. But the more I read into the Bible, the more I realize Jesus is none of those things. Jesus reads more like a Bond villain with a miracle addiction. Like, he has main character syndrome, you know what I mean? Like, he's the Beyonce of the Bible. Because what's Jesus's MO, right? First, flex. Second, maybe help. You know, it's like all I'm reading is red flags about this guy. And there's this story I'm reading. It's about his disciples. And they come to him and it's like, Lord, people are hungry. And he goes, yeah? Like, you know, it's like he's excited. Like, I get to do like a magic trick. He's like, yeah. He's like, give me 2 fish and 3 loaves of bread. And the disciples are like, there's 1,000 people here. He goes, motherfucker, just get me 2 fish and 3 loaves of bread. He wants to throw a buffet for 1,000 people using only that. I mean, that's not a buffet. That's what a divorced dad packs when it's not his weekend. And you know, they get him the fish and the bread, and he's standing there, and he says a little prayer or whatever. And they start multiplying. And he started giving everybody fish and bread. And he was like, you get a loaf. He became like Oprah. You get a loaf. You get a loaf. And then his disciples said, Jesus, Saya, Lord. I don't know if they were British. And they go, we're traveling far away. Would you like to join us? And Jesus go, no, you go. I'll follow. Which is, to me, it's weird that nobody had, you know, like following questions after that. Like, how are you going to follow, motherfucker? You're barefoot in the desert. Uber camel? What the fuck? Like, how are you going to follow? And, you know, they're in the boat, and the storm hits, and it's really, really strong. And the disciples are petrified, and Peter's like, somebody text Moses, like, we're going to die. And, you know, this is where Jesus comes again, like he's main character, you know. Because what does Jesus do first? He appears walking on water, like flexing, you know? Look, I float. Can you float? By the way, that's his accent, motherfuckers, because he's Arab, right? He's like, look, motherfuckers, look. I can float. Muhammad, I don't know if they had a Muhammad, but I'm just saying, like, Muhammad, can you float like me? You cannot float. Look, I'm floating. He made it like a Vogue, like catwalk for Vogue in the Old Testament, you know, just walking and his disciples are like, all right, motherfucker, we know you can do that. Can you just please calm the storm? And he goes, like Houdini, you know, like he just finished his Coachella set, you know, like calms it immediately. And Peter looks at him and said, if this is you, Lord, say the word and I'll walk towards you. And Jesus, you know, being Jesus, looks at him and goes, come, pussy. And Peter starts walking on water. And all of a sudden he goes, holy fuck, I'm walking on water. Like, I'm not supposed to do that. I'm a fisherman, I'm not a Marvel character. And he's walking and he starts drowning. And he pleads onto Jesus, Lord Jesus, saveth, whatever, me. And Jesus does something which is uber fucked up. And he looks at him and he goes, O ye of little faith. Which kind of looked to me like he was telling him, get fucked, just in biblical terms. And the thing is, you know, I used to think of Jesus as a savior, but the more I read into it, I think of him as like he's not a good friend. If your friend is drowning, he's inhaling lake water, and you roast him, you're not a fucking friend. You're just a bad ex with miracle powers, you know what I mean? But you know, that's my Jesus. That's my savior of souls. That's my King of Kings. He's the patron saint of dramatic entrances. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I didn't make the cologne joke tonight, so now you're not going to get it, but it's Descartes Noir for sure. Speaking of Jesus, yeah, I was raised Roman Catholic. I had to endure all that too. I was 8 when I realized, so wait, they made one season of this show and we just keep watching it every year? All right. So I got bored real quick in church and I was like, well, what else can I do? And they're like, well, you could be an altar boy. And I was like, well, what's that entail? Some light sodomy, but you get chips and pop. I'm like, chips and pop? All right. All right, our next comedian, I forgot to bring my book, so I'm going to go over here for a minute. Our next comedian just recently got a haircut. Everybody seems to be talking about that. Seems to be a big thing. I understand now he is the lead singer of our house band, Hungry Like Duran Duran. Everybody give it up for Tay Powell.
You see it. So yes, I did get a haircut. I'll explain why. I was always going to do it. It wasn't just for a bit. I was always going to glue it into a hat. But no, I needed a new driver's license. I wanted to fill the entire rectangle. I don't know if you guys have looked. Like, you guys are not using the full real estate on your driver's licenses. I wanted to fill the whole thing. The unfortunate thing is I grew my hair too long and it wouldn't stay up. So I don't know. Kind of disappointing. I'll try again another 5 years. But yeah, so, and then, yeah, that's why I had to start a boy band, I guess. Will's intro was about him wearing glasses. And I was wondering, like, is that what Clark Kent is always saying about himself? That's the main thing he wants people to notice. I'm Clark Kent, I have glasses. He's going to be in real trouble if Superman ever gets a prescription and needs his own glasses. Like, I think people might then figure it out. I love a good, do you guys ever take like the GO train? And you always see those people there. I love a good GO train run. It goes like, it's kind of like this. They look, it's like a running motion, but they're not going any faster. It kind of says, I'm in a rush. I hope I make my train. But it's a call for attention. It's not a real run. All right, I want to try something here. What's your name? Francis. I don't think that's going to work for this. So what I'm going to do, I don't have time to meet all of you. I mean, I know a bunch of you, but on the count of 3, I just want you to all shout out your names, and I'm going to listen really hard. 1, 2, 3. I'm I heard Francis again, but I heard John. And I was wondering, do you guys think it's weird that names that rhyme are not short for the same things? Like, John is never short for Jonald. Don is never short for Donathan. Matt's never short for Matrick. Richard is, or Dick is short for Richard somehow. It's never short for Dickolas. Sometimes you meet Richards that are dicks. I don't know. The other thing that's kind of funny about names, like the age I'm at, a bunch of my friends are having kids, and they all think that I'm gonna steal their kids' names if they tell me before the kid is born. They're right, of course, but there's no way I can jump ahead unless I already had some secret girl pregnant. No, what I do is I buy pets. If they tell me the name, I buy dogs. What are you doing, man, with your eyebrows? I know you don't have a kid on the way for me to steal their name. Anyways, they say time is relative. And I've always wondered who it's related to, but I figured it out. It's got to be Kevin Spacey, right? We always hear about time and space together. I mean, I'll work on that. My grandpa, it actually would have been his birthday today. If he was alive, he'd be 117. And if he never stopped growing, he'd be 22 feet tall. And if he never stopped having kids, he'd have 70 of them. Hypothetically, he could have been a great man. When a couple gets divorced, we blame the kids, right? I mean, that's what changed. Now, my parents have had a long, successful marriage, so I'd like to take credit for that. It's actually going so well that I adopted a new set of parents. I just feel like I have more to give. Of course, with new parents, I got a new brother. His name is Jeff, but he spells it with one F because he's a minimalist. And people always wonder, what do you get him for Christmas? But it's super easy. I get him exactly what he wants. Nothing. And he's a really good minimalist, so eventually he got rid of all of his stuff, and he wanted to take it further. The reality is there's nothing less than the minimum, so we considered reality, we considered existence. He's now imaginary. And it's great having an imaginary brother because I can imagine him however I want. And I imagine that we have a lot of family emergencies, so I get to miss a lot of work. I imagine that if you're going to ask me to help you move, he probably already asked me that day, so I can't help. I also imagined he wanted me to have a credit card in his name. The thing about that, when you use an imaginary name to get a real credit card and buy real things, comes with both real and imaginary consequences. They definitely still call it fraud. But I'm not really sure how much I owe because imaginary numbers aren't positive or negative. That's a math joke. I don't know if you guys actually get that or just have the cadence of a joke. But. And, I won't be going to Supermax prison for this. I might be going to superposition prison. It's a very special prison invented by Schrodinger where I'll only serve time if I'm observed serving time. That one's quantum physics. I'm just really smart. So the thing about my brother, it's always been his dream to go on a Segway tour, but he can't do it because he refuses to wear a helmet. It's always been my dream to write a really good Segway, but I'm going to leave you on this one. I made a sex tape recently. It was a business opportunity. I put it out there, people watched it, but all I got back was advice. Yeah, they said things like manscape more, cry less, maybe try adding a partner. So guys, we're going to hold auditions after this. I hope to see you there.
Keep it going, Rum. That's Tay, everybody. It was an awesome set. So I was talking a little bit about the AI earlier and how I like to fuck with it. And he's trying to keep I say he because I actually made it. I figured if I'm going to fuck with AI and it's going to kill me eventually, I should know its name. So I made him decide what sex he was and what his name was and gave him a backstory because that's what I like to do. But when it comes to AI, I thought, all right, let's see how smart you actually are. I'm like, you should write me a joke. And so now AI writes all my jokes. No. Yeah, it does. Our next comedian, we're going to put our hands together. She is a baddie without a daddy, but she's taking offers. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Faye.
It is true, I don't have a daddy. My God, okay, fuck me then. Wah, wah, yeah. Okay, let's see if I can bottle flip this. Fuck. This is so embarrassing. Okay. How we doing, CFTA? That was a very half-hearted applause, but I get it. I brought down the mood talking about my dead dad. He did kick the bucket. Before he did, he looked at me and he was like, "Faye." I was like, "Yes, Papa. What can I do for you in your hour of need?" He said, "Faye, look at me, and I want you to watch and see how far I can kick this bucket." Just kind of like, whoop, doo, doo. We're not athletic. No, he's dead though. I miss that motherfucker. And you know, yeah, before anyone says like, "Faye, that's really disrespectful. That's your father? And you're calling him a motherfucker." By definition, this man was fucking my mom. How do you think I got here? Love you, Sean. He's a cool dude. I was recently celebrating his birthday. I say recently. It was November, but you don't need to know that. Thank God I didn't tell you. I was celebrating his birthday. I went out, had some wings, had a little drink, and just by myself. And towards the end of my meal, my waitress came up and was like, "Oh, like, are you celebrating anything tonight?" Like, and I was like, "Oh, you know, I'm celebrating my late dad's birthday." And she's kind of like, "Well, when do you think he's gonna get here?" It's like, hopefully soon. Yeah, he didn't show up. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Some might say, you know, I look pretty fatherless, and now it's accurate. Fatherless behavior. That was obviously, it sucked when he passed, but, you know, I had all these people already telling me I was, acting fatherless, so I was like, hey, it's true now. Oh my goodness. Man, I forgot what else I was gonna say. Fudge nuggets. Fudge nuggets. What's your favorite non-swear swear word? That's freak. Frig. That's a good one. That's holy tits. That's that's PG. Okay, I'll take it. Mine is pee and poo. Because I think that's work appropriate, right? Because I realized everyone can hear me when I'm at work. I work at a hipster coffee shop down the road, Mulberry Coffee House, if you know it. And there I work in the kitchen. I make the food. I take out the food. I do the food, right? So the other day I was working in the kitchen. And I had someone come up to me and they're like, "Oh, excuse me, do you have the time?" And I was like, "Oh, no, sorry. I have some parsley though." And then she walked away. And I was like, "Okay, no parsley for you then." Man. How hipster is this coffee shop, though, you might be asking yourself. Thank you. Oh my goodness. How hipster is it? It is such a hipster coffee shop. I watched a man bring in his own typewriter one time. And he knew what he was doing. 'Cause he went and sat at his little table and then opened it up and it was typewriter, and then all of these women just accumulated around him. The floor got wet, I tell you. I had to get the slippery when wet sign, but on my way there I was like, "Ooh, slip and slide." Fun times at Mulberry Coffee House. Fun times, I tell you. One day I was taking out some soup to I see the light, which is what my dad said. Love you, Sean. I was taking out some soup to the dining room, and I rounded the corner, and I saw my polyamorous friends, Kyler, Skylar, and Devin. They're queer, if you couldn't tell by the names. And I was like, oh my gosh, guys, what are you doing here? And I give them their food, and we're yapping away, because I'm just a girl. And I was like, okay, I'm on the clock. I should really go, do my job. And so we say bye, and I turn around to go, and I'm like, oh, guys, I almost forgot. Does Polly want a cracker? I have been Faye Pollitt, a baddie without a daddy. We're going to bring back your host, sweet Stevie Lee. Sweetie.
Did you guys know that they made weed and lollipops now? What a fucking age we live in. So Faye, I was actually trying to switch up the look tonight and do the hipster thing, but I fucked up and now I look like I can't go near a park within 500 feet. But I'm just gonna go with it. Our next comedian, I was really hoping he was gonna be white. He is Black Jesus, everybody. No, just kidding. Black Zeus. Black Zeus.
This is how big of an ego I have. He said Black Jesus and I started walking to the stage. That was fucking crazy, my nigga. All of you kneel before me. What's going on, niggas and niggettes? White people. Mostly white people. Yeah, thank you for applauding. I appreciate it. It's a lot of respect you show for a name like Black Zeus. Doesn't really deserve any, It's like comedy's the only place the name Black Zeus gets any respect. I couldn't be your doctor. It's like, hello, I'm your OBGYN, Black Zeus. Go ahead and spread. Yeah, I'm from here. I live in Hamilton because I'm depressed. The tap water is fucking full of aluminum and shit or some fucking, I was, I'm high. The weed is wearing off. I grew up in London, Ontario, which is, fucking, just my parents hate me, bro. If you're black, just, I don't recommend going there. Yoel, we can take field trips. Growing up in London's weird, especially as a black kid. It was very racist in the 90s, you know what I mean? I feel like it got weirder anytime a black event happened. Every Black History Month was just fucking weird in London as a kid. Because you'd be driving around and all the radio stations are like country hick-ass stations in London, but they still acknowledge you, but they do it in a very London way, You'll be driving around, it's like, and that was Freebird by Leonard Skinner. It's February 1st. Happy Black History Month to all our patrons. This next song is for you. It's Black Betty. Get the fuck. Yo, black people fucks with Black Betty, I can't lie. The world's just fucking weird, I feel like we were actually more tolerant before we went woke. I feel like, because it wasn't a thing that we practiced, we just were tolerant. Now it's like, I must be tolerant. We're getting too performative with this bullshit. This past Black History Month, I heard an AI Martin Luther King ad. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Let these people rest, you know what I mean? For sure, none of his dream was a part of this. It was weird, just driving. It was like, I have a dream that all people of all colors and creeds will be in good hands.
Allstate. You're in good hands.
Bro! What the fuck? Let the dude rest in peace. Why does he need to sell insurance, my nigga? What part of the dream is this? White women, yes. Insurance commercials, definitely no. And if me telling you that Martin Luther King slept with white women is news to you, then you're who Black History Month is for. Because that's real history. He liked white bitches. What else I want to say? I don't know. I'm gonna look at my phone. Look at this unprofessional douchebag. Yo, you realize how nobody has a midlife crisis anymore? Everyone's just in a permanent crisis. What the fuck happened, my nigga? I thought mental health was supposed to be good for us. Everyone just seems to be getting worse. The fuck, bro? I feel like I'm doing the mental health thing. I'm trying to fix myself, which is gay. Bro, it's so lame, bro. Healing is the lamest shit. I feel like before you start healing, somebody who's already healed should approach you with a pamphlet like a Mormon. You know what I mean? Are you ready to heal, my son? Well, get ready to take all the cool shit about yourself and throw that shit in the fucking trash, bro. You're a fucking loser now, bitch. Get inside and read a book. Fuck. Every time my friends call me to hang out, I was like, yo, you want to go out drinking? I'm like, nah, bro, I'm going to stay in and read. Read? Who the fuck am I now? I'm trying not to watch porn and read as an adult when I spent my entire childhood watching porn and not reading books. I'm like doing Uno reverse pickup 4 on myself. I hate myself. I love myself. I'll get there eventually. I thought about my ex yesterday. There's no joke about that. I just needed to say it. Anybody want to fuck? Anyways, I'll be in the bathroom if you want to fuck. No, I love you all. Hey, by the way, I haven't been here in a while. Man, you guys are fucking progressing. That's fun as fuck to watch. So keep killing it and stay on the hustle. I love you all. Peace.
All right, everybody give it back and give it up for Black Zeus. Or Jesus, whatever you want to say. So I now, let me count, 1, 2, 3. I now have 3 black friends. Hi, guys. So I think we should start like a dope rap group, the 4 of us. I've photoshopped some names here, so let me know what you think. Token and the Real Ones. Diversity Hire. Or Caucasualty in the Culture. That's my favorite one. All right, we're going to get our next one up here. What's that? Our next comedian is Gabby. She's doing is it your show this weekend, Gabby? Is it your show or you're on it's Paul's show? All right. She's a part of the show this weekend, and it's the Dirty Milk Show. She also wants you to know that she's extremely good looking. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Gabby.
What up, guys? I'm Gabby Watts. I don't let my kids listen to Michael Jackson, but I can't tell them why. But have you seen Elijah Wood lately? He's just glowing with not getting molested. It's like a 40-year-old boy. So beautiful. Have you guys seen Macaulay Culkin lately? He looks like he just came out of the dryer and he hasn't been right since. It's not good. I do think that Michael Jackson's like the girl from The Ring. Terrible childhood abuse turned him into a monster, and now we're stuck watching his curse videos. Hey, come on. Curse tape? Fuck you guys. Jesus Christ. All right, I'm looking at my hand. I've lost all my confidence. So I've been chatting with a guy on a Ouija board. Yeah, it's been going really good. Yeah, so I was like getting along with him. He's super funny. We're chatting up till 5 in the morning, and so I said to him, "Hey, is there something going on between us?" And he said, "Nope." So yeah, I mean, I thought he could have let me down easy, but it turns out he made no into a 4-letter word. And what was even worse is that I was holding the planchette, so I was like N-O. I was already sat at O. But then we had to do P and then E. That was really too much. I told my husband about the ghost situation, and he got super jealous. I said, "Don't worry, I can't cheat on you with a guy he has no physical form." And he said, "Well, if he can slam the cupboards at night and flick the light switches back and forth, then I think you guys can manage it." But, so yeah, now my husband's obsessed with the idea that he doesn't know when he's gonna run into the ghost. And so we've been fucking in every room of our house just to show him his boss. It's mostly just showing me, I guess, but. But that was just for Cody. But I do feel for the ghost because having a friend tell you that he is in love with you is kind of like having a friend tell you that he has cancer. You kind of wish that they hadn't said anything, and you hope that they go into remission, but you know that there's no known cure, so it's not very hopeful. I do feel like my husband was taking me for granted, though. He was thinking of me as like a cold, hard, flat surface that he could just walk all over. Granite? No? Granted? Grammar? Oh, right, hand save me. Okay. So I like to be a supportive wife and not be a nag. So the other day, my husband was fucking me, and when he finished, he pulled out and he came on my stomach, and I said, "You did it, homie." And what I meant by that was, way to go, bud. Because I'm a supportive wife. But then I immediately got worried that he took it the wrong way, so then I said, not Simpson, though. Like not Homer, you know how she calls him homie? I did not want him to think that I was doing a Marge impersonation at the time of our coitus. So I've decided not to speak during sex or afterwards. It's going better. It's going good. But I do like cum when it's on me. I think it's nice. But it's like, it's hot only when it's hot. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like a McDonald's fry. It's like majestic and transcendent, just right when it's fresh. And then it starts to congeal and separate and turn into a weird wet mess. The other day I saw a poster, it was like a trippy poster of a mushroom. And I pictured myself taking mushrooms and staring at the trippy poster of the mushroom. I thought it's kind of on the nose, but I guess someone out there's probably doing that. Then I thought, drunk people never ever get together and stare at like a blurry picture of a grape. Like a triple picture of like hops or barley. Okay, well that's my time, guys. Thank you so much.
One more time for Gabby. So I personally stopped watching like all kinds of news, any news really, for the last 7 years. And so it's funny, like when you take out that kind of negativity out of your life, it's an easy thing to just quickly remove. But you still find out stuff, like when the Queen died, I found out the same day. But then it got like a little further separated. And so like when the Prime Minister stepped down, I had no clue. Like 29 days passed before someone told me that we no longer, like Trudeau was no longer in office. And I couldn't believe that living in Hamilton because like you guys ever been here when like the World Cup's happening? Like you can't score a fucking goal without everybody's goddamn flags being around the city, right? Not one fucking fuck Trudeau flag like celebrating? Like what are all the fuck Trudeau guys mad about now? Is there anybody? Anybody here? Fuck Trudeau guy? No? I'm just wondering what they're doing now. Like, what are they pissed off about? Next coming up is another gentleman that's in the show this weekend, the Dirty Milk Show. He decided to show up tonight and show us some leg, so give it up for him and his legs.
Give it up for Sweetie Sweet Sweet. I looked out the window, I'm like, oh, that looks warm, and never really got an update on that. I'm an idiot. Yeah, just a quick plug, because I will forget. This Saturday, 7 p.m., Dirty Milk Gabby's on the show. I'm on the show. I'm not telling any of these jokes tonight on Saturday. Saturday, it will be a funnier person. These are all new jokes here. So I'm Peruvian and weak. I'm Peruvian, and apparently the new pope is too. So it's gonna be cool. Like we're finally gonna call Christ Jesus. Fuck me. It'll be interesting to have a pope that I think we're gonna have less sinners than ever, because he's just gonna give everyone the silent treatment. Okay, you don't know a lot about Peruvians. I get it. Fuck these jokes. So I was talking to a cute girl the other week, and I'm like, yeah, I know, right? I even maintain eye contact. Holy shit. A thrill. And I was like, oh, I'm going to play the long con. I'm just going to say bye. So I just said, oh, it's nice to meet you. And she grabbed my hand, and she paused, and she looked at me, and she said, "You have very soft hands." And again, you haven't felt them, but I guarantee you they're very soft. And for some reason, I had to say, "Oh, thank you. I get them from my mother." I'm like, why the fuck did I say that? I just told her I'm a bitch. like these hands never seen a hard day's work. Like, do you need a jar open? Me too. I was just like wondering, why did I react that way? And the reason was nostalgia, because my ex-girlfriend, she used to tell me I had soft hands. And when I mean ex-girlfriend, I mean the ex-girlfriend. Like the one that was like the Joker to my Batman. I see we're in a room full of amicable breakups. Not one bad breakup. Wow, I envy you all. No, so she was like the Joker to my Batman. I think if you ask her, I probably wasn't even her Riddler. Maybe her Penguin. Not Colin Farrell. Danny DeVito. He didn't wear shorts though. Yeah. So, any Serbians here? No. Okay. Good. Yesterday, I did this yesterday, and there was one Serb, and I was like, "Oh, so you're a sex addict?" And he laughed his ass off. Because if you know anything about Serbians, they are very open about their sexuality, and they're sex addicts. And I used that was my joke. Like my ex-girlfriend was Serbian, and our relationship lasted for 4 years. And after 4 years, I realized we had nothing in common. We never really did anything but watch How I Met Your Mother, eat Hawaiian pizza, and have sex. And it was just kind of like not a lot there. And I broke up with her. And every time I say that out loud, I think, "You fucking idiot! You had it all!" Oh no, but I wanted to have someone I could talk to and hang out with and do things with. You hang out with your friends. That's what they're for. So the thing about her was when we started dating, or not when we started dating, like when we were like 7 months in, where it's like, oh, this is gonna go the distance. One day I got up to go to the gym, and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm going to the gym." I was like, "No, you got me. You don't need to try anymore. Like we're in a relationship now. Like you're gonna get fat, and I'm okay with that." I'm like, "Oh, great, okay." And I'm gonna get fat. I'm like, "Oh, okay." Okay, I might tell these jokes Saturday. And I might wear shorts. So because of that, I had to like put a lock on my phone because I didn't want her to see the messages between me and my personal trainer. I had to hide the dumbbells in my sock drawer. And on my laptop, I had to make a folder with my gym stuff, and I called it porn. Fucked up porn. Yeah, it fooled me. Oh, so if you're in a long-term relationship, and sometimes inevitably there's like that time period where you're not together for a bit. She had to go to Serbia to refuel her sex energy or something. But she was gone for about a month. So during that month, I went back to the gym, but I didn't lose any weight. I just wanted to I had fun. I liked the gym at some point in my life. But she came back, and the sex you have after a long period like that was awesome. The problem was she was like, "You're lasting way too long." And I'm like, 2 minutes isn't that long. It's like your hands, they feel like man hands. I'm like, no, they don't. I feel like my mom's hands, they're rough. Then I farted as like one would do, and then she Dutch ovened herself and she said, "That's a protein fart. You're going to the gym." I'm like, "No, I'm cheating on you." I'll end it there. That felt great, guys. Thank you very much again. Tomorrow, Saturday, May 10th, 7 p.m. Dirty Milk. I'm Paul Marroquin.
I mean, go to the show just for the shorts alone. I feel you, brother. I actually had one of those crazy breakups just recently. Actually, it's not just recently. It just won't go away. But my favorite thing was I went across the border to go see a Bills game and got detained because apparently I'm a dangerous sex offender. I mean, I am, but like, how the fuck did they find out, right? It must have been her. Anyway, our next comedian. I think I did it again. I think I forgot my book again. So talk about yourselves. Quick break. Cody, I didn't great. I knew it. Cody. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to put our hands together for Cody. Well, real quick, just so you guys know, if you don't know this, he recently ran in the last election and now has the dubious honor of being the least voted for person in Hamilton history. Put your hands together for Cody.
No, that would be actually your AA sponsor there, sweet Stevie Lee. No. We can tell, yeah. Yeah, I was writing stuff while everyone was performing today, so you guys want to hear some roasts? Yeah. It's here for sweet Stevie Lee, guys. It's here for sweet Stevie Lee. Ironically, only your third CFTA host that's been addicted to Coke, so let's hear it for him, guys. Still a shorter intro than Larry, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Us open micers really, really needed that. I loved your set, Joe. That was awesome, where you gave us advice on how to smuggle someone across this border. I feel like it was unnecessary, though. We do know that you're married, so... yeah, I don't know. Joey Baum, are you still here? Yes, you are. Good, sir. I never understood why Jake allowed you in the CFTA. Honestly. Now it makes sense, you know. Obviously, his sister needs someone to take you for a couple hours so she can cheat on you, so that's cool. Hell yeah. Meanwhile, I gotta leave now after this. No, Francis, did you leave? Yeah, I can't hear you talking at the back. Not you. Asian Francis, yeah. Didn't Francis dress up like he was a recent Filipino immigrant who was told that's what you're supposed to dress up like if you lived in Toronto? I mean, he had a whiter name than Tay, and he dressed blacker than Yoel. But to be honest, the blackest thing about him was he was talking during the entire episode here. Fuck. Erica, there you are with the better Francis. I like that. Erica, don't listen to your friend, okay? A guy would be lucky to have a girlfriend who walks around with a limp and in pain all day. I mean, I still am looking for that girl who likes anal, you know what I'm saying? Let's hear for Dante, everyone. Yeah. Guys, he just let me know he donated all of his used clothing to Francis last week when he immigrated here. Which is why he's dressed like what Francis should have dressed like. Will having sex with his ex is a lot like Will watching Limitless. Exciting buildup for the first 20 minutes, only for him to turn her off after the drugs are gone. Yeah, it's a thinker. Yoel, if you're here, who's getting ChatGPT to call them the N-word? I couldn't have been the only one that was really uncomfortable when Yoel said the N-word up here. Mainly because sweet Stevie Lee whispered it in my ear right afterwards, too. George, thanks for getting new shoes. Let's drop that. Let's see here. Yeah, you're gone, George. I'm sorry. Tay, really cool to know that you've started watching Dawson's Creek. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thanks, Faye, for... You might have heard this, Faye. I really appreciate you coming up. I always wanted to know what the Rizzler looked like grown up as a trans woman.
Fuck you.
If you're wondering why they call Black Zeus, it's because he steals electricity from his neighbors. And he fucks farm animals, guys. That's classic Zeus. That's a good one. Gabby, you look like Morticia Addams if she was an Oompa Loompa. And Paul, if Gabby looks like Wednesday Addams, you look like Pugly Addams. Let's hear for Paul, though, the only 30-plus-year-old to have less hair on his hands than his legs. And Kobe's here. Kobe, he's going to be coming up next. I'm really excited. He was able to make it. Unfortunately, his daughter wasn't, guys. That's unfortunate. That's a bad joke. Okay, you guys want to hear some shitty jokes? Let's do it. I have 1 minute left. Okay. Yo, now that I'm single, no surprise here, I love doing single activities. Like, guys, I have a professionally curated meme folder. Yeah, you know, the kind that needs an external hard drive. Yeah, you know, hide it under my bed so that my nieces and nephews don't find it on Thanksgiving morning. Why are we having Thanksgiving morning anymore? I don't get it. I'm really a big fan of this recent meme, that 100 men versus gorillas. And anyone else, or versus one gorilla? You know, yeah? It's that hypothetical question, you know, can 100 men defeat a gorilla in a fight? And guys, that's an important question we must ask ourselves. But a more important question is, why did we identify the genders of the humans but not the gorilla? You know, was it some kind of marketing tactic by one of those 100 men? He's like, you know what will really get the morale down of this gorilla? If we tailor him as some kind of freak trans gorilla. You know, is it a man, is it a woman? No, it's gonna kill you, dude. No, I'm a really big fan of it, though. I'm a really big fan of it. That was a lame tag, I know. I wrote it today. I was doing coke with sweet Stevie Lee, okay? Don't blame me, guys. No, I will say this, though. I would love to see, like, how are they choosing these 100 men? Is this like some kind of like NATO subcommittee that's being drafted by the Geneva Convention? Are they making sure that, like, you know, if this girl is getting into a fight, we gotta make sure that we have our best and brightest? I hope one day that it's actually, you know, randomly chosen throughout the entire world. I just want to see some kind of, like, you know, Filipino farmer, just like after a long day on the field, he just comes back, looks at his wife. He's like, man, we used to have a loving relationship. And looks at his son, who's now a lady boy in Bangkok, Thailand. He's like, you know what? I'm changing my name to Francis and moving to Toronto, guys. Thanks so much. My name was Cody. Have a great day.
Keep it going for Cody. Roast comedy, right? It's like Fruit of the Looms, and clinging on to the lowest hanging balls you can find. All right, our next comedian is the love child of Fred Durst and Kobe Bryant, which means that he's got killer instincts for MVP and sexual energy of a guy who definitely did it all for the nookie, but he wants you to call him coach in bed. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Kobe Durst.
Yeah. I recently got engaged. I don't know, that it wasn't a joke or it was a lie. I just lied. Not engaged. Ha, got you. I've been thinking a lot about the Pythagorean theorem. I don't know about you guys. It's a squared plus b squared equals c squared. I think it's a little pretentious because this Pythagoras guy would have been looking at a triangle and he said, I swear to God, if you doubled the two short ones, they would equal the long one. And you just imagine the whole village being like, he was right. My dad died, and just like, and I'm a big pinata fan. So we would feed him a lot of like Smarties and Snickers. And when he did croak, we strung him up, beat him with bats, and I swear to God, he split in two, and I have 6 other fathers on the inside. So, happy ending. Oh, yeah. Would have sucked if he died. What else? I've been getting pulled over by the police a lot. I love smoking dope more than I love my mother. And so I was coming back from Detroit recently, and they pulled me in because my car smelled. And you could actually see them rummaging, and the guy would open up the like tube that formerly had a joint, and throw it down when it didn't. And I was thinking to myself as they're going through my car, if you throw up, you are done. And we didn't find anything. Okay, have a good day. And I watched these two border security guards watch me throw up in my passenger seat as I turned it on and took off. Whew. I was living in Brampton not too long ago, and this guy, he knocked on the door. I worked my shift, and I came home, it was like 5 p.m. And he said, hi, is like Choo Choo and Ray Ray home? And probably 8 or 10 guys rented this house. I had a room. And I said, I don't know. Come on in and find out. So he comes in, and he goes downstairs, and you just hear, like, that didn't make a lot of noise. You heard a rummaging, though. And I was standing at the shared kitchen making my dinner, and you see this guy bolt past me, and then you see one of my housemates, his leg was so broken. This guy broke his leg so bad. And this guy hopped up that guy stole my, so I chased this guy for probably 9, he didn't make a turn. We ran straight for 9 blocks. And then the police got him. On the 10th block, they just cut him off, and it was pretty wild. And I never let him know that I let him in my, true story. Another true story, I was driving home, I love playing poker. And I was playing at Playground Poker in Montreal. And I bubble out around 2:30. They give you free drinks when you play, too. And my car reeked. So I'm driving home, 2:30. It is probably like 5 a.m. through Napanee, if you guys have been. And there's a car behind me, and it keeps kind of almost passing me, but it would stop once it got beside me. And it was pissing me off, so I would just start speeding. And then it turned its lights on. Oh no. So they pull over. The second, step out of the car. Your car reeks like weed. And it's all in the trunk. It was where it's supposed to be. So it was probably March, 2 months ago. And they said, well, normally we would do a roadside sobriety test, but it's freezing and it's dark. And so we're gonna get you in the back of the car. You're not under arrest. We're gonna take you to the Napanee police station. You can do your test. And if you pass, we'll take you back to your car. And if you fail, you're in a lot of trouble, buddy. And I'm like, oh, okay, guys. So it's 20 minutes. We're driving to the police station. I'm telling them about how I'm a wrestler. And I got a show. I was gonna say it was in Brantford, but close enough. I'm like, I'm wrestling in Brantford tomorrow, and so they get me there. They make me do this one. Fuck. These guys, they would be better than Jeff Probst as like reality hosts, because the way they explain these games to you, like their job's on the line, eh? So you're gonna follow my pen. Do not move your head, only with your eyes. And and you're gonna walk on the line, single file. Okay, yeah. And you're gonna stand on 1 foot and count 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, till you get to, do you understand? Yeah. So I pass, right? And they take me back to the car. They go, where do you live anyways? I'm 15 minutes away from home, but I was going to Brantford. So 4 more hours, I'm driving. About 3 hours later, I get pulled over in Oshawa. I get pulled over. And this guy, he says, did you get pulled over earlier tonight? I said, yeah, like a couple hours ago. And he goes, get the fuck out of here. I'm Kobe Durst. That's the Donald.
All right, I'm a pretty good hugger. All right, our last comedian of the night has survived at least 2 cults, an IKEA marriage, and their comedy has been described as legally concerning and very moist. I didn't know who this was. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ray. Come on up. There's Ray.
Thanks very much. I have to admit right off the top that I'm terrible with names, so let's give this guy another round of applause. He's doing a great job. And I'm very nervous because I'm not familiar with this place. I'm not familiar with humor. And you're going to find that out pretty soon. What we're going to do here is learn some ancient words of wisdom from a far-off land. Does anybody recognize this island here? United Kingdom, come on, give it a round of applause. Very good. So what's going on here is London is down here, and we don't like that because we come from here, which is Newcastle upon Tyne. And around here we're called Geordies. And the Geordies invented the English language. And they also invented some very wise sayings, which I'm going to share with you tonight. And these sayings will be very useful for you in the future. Problem is, it's very difficult to get your head and your mouth around these sayings, so I've arranged the words alphabetically ahead of time. And we're going to go through the list. Now, this requires a lot of audience participation, so you've got to do that, otherwise it doesn't work. I used to have an assistant that would flip these charts for me, but we had to lay her off due to the tariffs. So this is the alphabetical arrangement, starting with the first word here is, I'll read it out and then I'll encourage you to join in. Al. Go on, yeah. Al. Now the difference between this one and this one is it's got an extra A. This is a beer. More. Bliddy. More. We need more volume. Bliddy. Borst. Excellent. I was at a club the other night and they didn't get it at all. But you guys are catching on quick. This is deer. Divant. Flying. Har. Heed. Oh, try that again because it's heed. Excellent. You're a very quick group of learners and makes my job a lot easier. So I'll run through these because I haven't got a lot of time, have I? Hort in ids, try it. Hort in ids. Ivmana. Nacht. You see there's a silent T in there. I mean, it's not written, but you say nacht, but it's nagged. Yeah. Hour. Cell and skull. I think we're, oh yeah, we're getting there. This is the last sheet for the, oops. Oh, bollocks. What happened? Oh yeah, we got this one here, right? Yep. Yeah. Sorry about that. Actually, this is going to go electronic. I'm going to get one of those little projectors that you can put down there and put it up here, and it'll be a lot more professional, and I'll make a lot more money. This is stubbed, that they'll, weir, ya, ye, yill. Now, I know that didn't make any sense to anybody because it hardly makes any sense to me, and I invented it. So we put this back to the beginning, and then we flip this around, and I hide this bit from you because, oh shit. What we need here is a proper easel, right? You know? I think we got it. Okay, so this is the first sentence arranged, right? And it goes like this. Ah, divant na, de ye na. And that will be when a friend will walk up to you on the street and say, what do you na? And the answer is, come on. Ah, divant na, de ye na. And the next expression, let's see what that says. Oh yeah, this is a good one. If you get out, get on your bike, turn the pedals, the bike doesn't go, get your neighbor, tell him to come over. What's wrong with my bike? He's going to say, why, nah, man, it's knacked. So you can try that. Why, nah, man, it's knacked. And that word comes from knackered, which is the knacker's yard where they took the horses to make them into glue when they were finished. Terrible story, eh? And, oh yeah, this one, okay. There's a bit of pornography involved with this, so I'll let you use your imagination. Don't do that, man, you'll hurt yourself. You want to try that? Yeah. Don't do that, man, you'll hurt yourself. And that's touching on your imagination. I was once told by a wise person that the imagination is the most powerful thing you have. It's the most valuable thing, and I think if we used more of it, we'd get much further ahead. Anyway, we're just about finished here. This is, you know, Barton Street has a number 2 bus, and if you're sitting on there and the kid's kicking the back of the chair, you can turn around and you can say, "If you didn't stop it, I'll bust your head in." So we can try that one, right? If you didn't stop it, I'll bust your head in. Now, because it's the number 2 bus, and because it's Barton Street, and we'll say no more, the kid will start kicking the seat again. So what you can do is repeat what we just said. If ye didn't stop it, I'll bust your head in. There'll be bloody skull and hair flying all over. And that boy will stop kicking your chair. Listen, you've been a great group of participants, and a round of applause.
There, we all learned something, a little smarter. All right, that's the end of our 5-minute sets. I think we have a few of our 3 minutes coming up, so we're going to try and get through them real quick. Our next comedian likes to be tickled so much, he dressed up like Elmo. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Francis.
All right. A lot of people talking about AI. Heard Terminator mentioned a couple times. And Terminator is actually a cautionary tale about something else. Sarah Connor was the first person to get cyberbullied. But let me pull up my stuff. So yeah, a lot of people talking about mental health. They might have anxiety, social anxiety. Personally, my anxiety is not very social. As I say that, I'm talking to a room full of people with a microphone. But that's why I have a Twitter account. My joke is that Twitter is a place for comedians with stage fright. You just type it in your phone, post tweet, which is nice for me because it's a great place to steal a whole bunch of jokes. Anyway, yeah, so people medicate, self-medicate. I used to smoke a lot of weed. Then I had to, function as an adult, so I just switched to smoking cigarettes. And people think kids start smoking because they think it's cool. I think if you look, the kids that are smoking are the ones that are pretty upset that they're already a failure by the age of 16. Anyway, yeah, you can see them at the smokers pit. They got bad attitudes, and they're maybe wearing funny hats. I don't know. But I actually quit smoking in December. Yeah, it was pretty hard, I guess. But I don't know. Smoking's kind of weird. My girlfriend would always give me a hard time. You always feel a little guilty. I always say to myself, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned." Anyway, but I used to vape a lot, and I had a kind of a pile of empty vape pods on my dresser, and I noticed one day that there was a lot of dead fruit flies, and I thought to myself, I do have a fruit fly problem. Maybe if I go to where they're flying around and I blow some vape at them, they'll die, and it'll get rid of my problem. So I tried that, but it didn't really work, and I took a closer look at the fruit flies, and I even had to get a magnifying glass out, and I noticed that they were just hanging around having attitude problems wearing cool hats. Anyway, that's my time. Thank you very much.
All right, keep it going for Francis. Our next comedian, I've actually followed her work for a long time. Not her comedy, but like personally, I follow her. If you check your phone, I'm actually in as your emergency contact now. So our next comedian is Aaron. Maybe. Oh no, Aaron's outside. There she is. Hi, I'm Stevie, and I'm your stalker.
Not yet. Hi. Okay, disclaimer, I'm not a comedian, but we'll see about that. Okay. Fuck. 1 second, sorry. Can I give someone my phone to record this so that I can watch it later and self-deprecate and think that I'm not good enough? Oh, is it a live stream? Oh, shit. Yeah, but I want to be narcissistic and have like a really good copy, so I want someone to... Thanks. It's not recording yet. I don't like these little disclaimers, but you don't? Okay, so oh yeah, Paul, how's your stalker doing? Okay, so I think I got a new stalker following me. I prefer followers online. Followers in real life are really disturbing, and I can't thank them for the follow. Like, I really want it to stop. Like, I can't collect digital hearts and numbers on my app with your eyes looking at me in real life. Like, this is not monetizable. So I went to the police station and actually demanded that the officer file a report, and he started shaking like a leaf because his hand is used to being like stuck like this holding a Tim Hortons cup, and he hasn't like filed an actual piece of paperwork in a long time, and that's not what taxpayers are paying you to do, you know? We need like nerds at the police station who are like really into like collecting data and actually want to write things, collect information. So I thought if I dressed like I was an employed professional, they might take me seriously, so I tried. And I thought that a good idea to get rid of stalkers would be to just like hook them up with another stalker so they could just perpetually stalk each other long term. And I was thinking, like, isn't that what romantic relationships are? Like, how many of you are in a romantic relationship? It's like, that's not your stalker. Like, you try to break up every 3 days, every 2 weeks, you're like, yeah, this isn't really working. And then like one of you stalks the other one, and then the other one is just like, you know, so... you know, and then the other one gets Stockholm syndrome, and then you guys are still together, and it's I don't know. I don't think many people are actually in a healthy relationship anymore, but it's an interesting word, right? Stockholm. It's like because you feel at home with this person that won't leave you alone, even though you hate each other. Home is where the stalker is. And then once you have a child with your stalker, it's fucking over because now they're going to stalk your kid forever. And then everyone's going to tell them that they're good for doing it because that's what you're supposed to do is stalk your kid. You're such a good dad. It's like, that's part of the reason I believe in abortion. And everything becomes, well, think about it, right? It's like like a lot of people's kids, anyway, I already explained it, but everything becomes easier in my life once I accept that I should have been aborted. Because after that, like it's a huge weight lifts, right? It's like, I'm going through this shit, but like, I shouldn't even be here, so like, fuck it, right? Like your first crisis is being born, and then everything after that is just like, well, I made it through that shit. So, yeah, I see people protesting abortion, and okay, sorry, I hate this jacket, I take it off. It looks horrible too. Like, honestly, all of this is real, and I just wrote it like, now. I actually dressed like this, asking the police to take me seriously. All of this is fresh. Okay, and I can't see anybody, so that kind of sucks. Okay, and I know I look tired. So I see people protesting abortion, right? I believe in the woman's right to health care, including the right to that. Like, I'm pro-choice, except for my mother. Like, everybody else can have an abortion. But I see people protesting it, and I'm like, there's people down the street who weren't aborted dying. Why don't you just go help them, you know? Like, I'm serious. They're killing themselves, right? Suicide, because your mom didn't abort you. Yeah, I tried to bring a friend here, but it's hard doing comedy when you can't see people. I can't actually connect with you. I mean, I guess I wasn't trying hard enough, but last thing I know, my time's up, but okay, 1 second. Yeah, I can't see you. So I tried to bring a friend here, but he's off walking the trails with someone he calls Scott the Robot, so he might die tonight. But I'm hoping he will be here next week because he's really funny and smart and charismatic. But unfortunately, the system failed him, so he's on the streets and way too cool for me. And I try to get him to come to the studio to record some music. I try to hook him up with guitar lessons, and he actually is too cool for me. And it's crazy, Well, it's not crazy, he is, but. And then this guy started messaging me on Facebook. I don't know who he is, but next week I'll what? Oh, no, take it. But I'm just saying, next week I'm going to show you, because this guy started sending me Facebook Messenger voice clips. Why aren't you taking the mic? You're allowed. Yeah, okay. Okay, but anyway, I'll show you next week, because he's really fucking funny. I don't know where he lives, but I'm telling you, man, he is so funny, and I don't have time, otherwise I would play them for you, but okay.
Thank you. One more to get in before the show's over. Thank you so much, everybody. Give it up for. That's Aaron. You were great. Awesome. All right, our final comic is what happens when a mariachi band crashes in a tequila truck. Loud, spicy, and definitely illegal in some provinces. Hide your shot glasses, say a prayer to the Virgin Guadalupe. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Edith.
Here's your Mexican. In a less serious note, do you know that we share 60% of our DNA with a banana? I don't even like bananas. Not for the flavor, because they are family now. No? I will tell you a little story about my algorithm in Netflix. So, you know how it works, no? You watch certain shows, so Netflix suggests what you would like. And then I read, before that, I saw the new shows for the month or something, for the week. And one of those was Love in the Spectrum? Spectrum in Love? So I was like, I don't want to see it. That seems boring, why? And then Netflix said, we think you will love this show. And it was Love in the Spectrum. I was like, Netflix? I have the ADHD, but how do you know? And then the other day I didn't have anything to watch, and I was like, well, I give it a go. And I'm loving it. I recommend it to you. It's so cool. Yeah, that's it. Yes, I was reading a book, and it's called How to End Financial Stress. So I was reading it, and then the book says, this book is broken. I was like, so don't read that one. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for tonight. Thank you for letting me come out and host the evening. I had a great time. Hope you guys had a great time, too. Yeah, that's it. We're done. Get home safe.